team. What's your favorite duo, Darian and
Mackenzie?
Back with another reaction video, guys. And here we are at First Time You Realize America Really Messed You Up, Part 4. Before we dive into this video, make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. What we got?
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Okay, so unfortunately, I have more than one of these situations because America. But one that I know specifically that just happened to me recently, I was walking to my car. It was late at night. I was leaving the mall, and this guy was walking behind me, and I was just like, dunna, 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 dunna. What does he want from me? And I got in my car, and when he walked past, I locked the doors. And I was just like, wait a minute. You're not in North Carolina anymore. And it's so weird because I've been so comfortable here. I've went inside of the store and left my car running because it's super hot in Abu Dhabi. And I'm like, let's leave the air going. But yeah, America has really made me scared to strangers. Which, I mean, it probably should because the world is crazy. But yeah, not in the UAE. It's just not that way.
When I was studying...
Because I noticed, a lot of women, talk about how unsafe they feel in America after moving abroad. Have you ever felt, unsafe or...
Oh, yeah.
For real?
That's why I have you go everywhere with me.
That's true.
I always have you leave the light on for me, when I come home from work,
Facts.
Because, I'm scared that, somebody's gonna, pick up on, when I'm coming home.
Yeah.
And, I'll get attacked or taken. I'm trying to wiggle the keys, trying to find it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when I get in the car, I always look in the back of the car.
And
then I always have to watch my surroundings when I'm out by myself. I have to pay attention to how many times have I seen this person?
Yeah.
Why are they always on the same aisle as me?
Dang.
You have to pay attention to stuff like that.
That's crazy. My friend's mom used to be. Now that you mention that, she used to make me watch her walk to her car until she actually pulled off to make sure that nothing happened.
Yeah, if I go check the mail, that's why you check the mail. But when I was living at home, my mom would always watch, or I would watch one of the kids go check the mail.
For real.
You know.
I guess as a guy, I've never thought about it. That's sad and that's scary to think about.
I don't never go anywhere.
I've never
by
felt unsafe. I never thought somebody was gonna attack me or nothing. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, that time in Atlanta, that guy literally tried to take me.
Yeah.
That one time, and they had to call the police on him.
Dang.
Because he, I had went into a store, and I had paid to get through.
Yeah.
And my mom stayed back. And he was screaming and cussing at the lady to let him back to where I was.
That's insane.
And they wouldn't let him. And he had a knife and everything on him when they found him.
Yeah.
And he had taken a video of us.
Jesus. I guess it just really is unsafe out here.
Especially in Atlanta over here in Georgia.
Jeez. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, so all these women be telling the truth when they be saying how unsafe they felt here and how much safer they feel now that they're in another country.
Yep. It's a scary world for women.
I swear, that's sad. That's sad, bro.
But yeah, not in the UAE. It's just not that way.
When I was studying abroad in Japan, I got super sick one month, and my host family kept telling me to go to the doctor, and I kept refusing. And when they asked why, I said because I was scared they're going to send me to the hospital and leave me with this huge bill. And then they quickly had to explain to me that that's not how it works, and if I actually needed to go to the hospital, I would not leave with a $6,000 bill just for IV fluids and ibuprofen.
So, as an American...
That's sad. That's another thing that's sad. You hear all these people abroad, scared to go to the hospital, scared to get an ambulance, because they worry about the cost, and, all these people be looking at them weird, ambulance is free, the hospital is free to go, what do you mean, but over here, you go to the hospital, you get sick, you go bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean... literally, my mom broke her ribs earlier this year. She did not want me to call the ambulance. She refused, but I had to anyways.
That's crazy. My bro messed up his knee. He had to get surgery on his knee, like playing basketball. He did not. When he messed it up, he didn't want the ambulance. It was just like he couldn't get up, and so the ambulance had to be called. Like nobody could pick him up, carry him to the car. He couldn't get up.
Yeah, that was the same with my mom. It's just we couldn't pick her up, and because it was just me and my dad, and my dad's fragile.
See, I'm telling you, man, this goddamn healthcare system is crazy. We might have good healthcare, but if you can't afford it, what's the point?
No, like I just like we would really rather basically die than to let an ambulance try to save our life.
Exactly, because even if they save you, they saved you to be in debt for the rest of your life.
Like we just gonna risk us dying just driving ourselves.
I swear, she's not lying, bro. That's sad.
Living in New Zealand for the last 2 years, I have definitely had a moment of clarity where I realized how the American healthcare system is. So I was watching this cooking show with my boyfriend, and the girl who wanted to win, she wanted to win because she had all these medical bills she needed to pay because she was in a hit and run. So she was hit, obviously, and like her legs got super up. But I was like, wait, why is she paying like $80,000 in medical bills because she got hit?
I swear to God.
It makes no sense. So safe to say, I don't think I'll be moving back to the States anytime soon, especially since I broke my wrist here and it was completely free.
That's crazy.
How does that work? America, get your shit together.
I swear to that's sad.
So a few weeks after I moved to South Korea, I got pretty sick. I got a pretty gnarly sinus infection. So my boss insisted on taking me to the doctor, even though I was like, no, it's fine. I don't need to go. I'll get better. And she took me to the doctor, and I have health insurance here in Korea. I have the National Health Insurance Plan. And at the end of my appointment, my boss said to me, it's 5,000. So I heard her say 5,000. 5,000 won is about $5 US. But in my head, there was no way it could have only been 5,000. So I pulled a 50,000 won note out of my wallet and I handed it to her. She tried to give it to the receptionist, and he was like, does she have anything smaller? Like, this is a big bill. And she was like, do you have anything smaller? And I was like, but it's 50. She was like, no, it's $5,000. And I was like, how can a doctor's appointment only be $5?
When my grandfather was down,
bro, $5.
That would be like amazing.
Preach. I could go to the doctor just for fun.
Just for fun. No, you wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. I ain't spending that $5 being got to.
Hey, you gotta watch your pennies, and the dollars will take care of themselves. You feel me?
I feel you.
and we went to Scotland to go and see, him for one last time. And at one point, my grandfather had a prescription that needed picking up. So I pop out of the car, run into the pharmacy, and I've got my purse on me. I don't have very much money with me. I just didn't. And I went in, and I'm just like, okay, I'm here to pick up for my grandfather. This is his name. And I've got my passport out, ready to hand it to them, to prove that I'm who I say I am. They're like, oh, yeah. How's John doing? Here you go. Here's his stuff. Hey, let him know that if he ever needs help with this, you can just call us. We'll send it on down to him.
Oh, wow.
I said, thank you. And then I stood there, and they're like, why are you still here? I was like, but I need to pay. And they're like, no, you don't. He's old. Everything's free. I never felt more uncomfortable leaving a building than I did in that day. It was awful.
I'm a U.S. citizen currently living in Costa Rica. We have to be careful about the use of the word American since the Americas are continents. Anyway, I have so many examples of how the U.S. me up, specifically Florida.
Ooh.
We got to Costa Rica the second weekend in November, obviously still deep in the throes in the U.S. with COVID. And coming from Florida where there's so many anti-maskers and COVID deniers, it was surreal to go to these establishments here where everyone's following the Ministry of Health's rules. There's hand washing stations outside of every establishment. There are people taking your temperature to go into grocery stores and certain restaurants. People are giving you distance Everyone is compliant with masks. And I found myself so defensively postured, ready to argue because I had gotten into so many arguments in Florida with anti-maskers and COVID deniers. It's amazing when people don't politicize a virus.
I swear to God, I didn't understand why people kept saying like COVID wasn't real. Just the fact that so many people was dying, like, I was like, it gotta be.
I feel like I can't agree.
You didn't think it was real?
I don't. I still to this day don't think COVID is real. I think it is a virus.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a new virus. I think it's literally the flu. And people die all the time from the flu.
Yeah, but...
And I just feel like it's literally like the flu.
But in the numbers
and
that
then,
people was dying in...
Again, literally people were like... dying from all these other things, and then every single time they die is, oh, it's COVID. Yeah. Oh, they died from COVID. Oh, he broke his leg or he broke his neck and he died. Oh, it's COVID. How? And then so like I'm sorry, I just don't.
What about all the deaths outside the U.S. around the rest of the world? COVID deaths.
I just think it's the flu. It's the flu, and that's just how I feel.
I believed in it.
I don't.
Did I like wearing a mask? No, I absolutely hated it. But I did wear a mask when I went out because I believed it.
My mom had gotten sick, but it wasn't from COVID or the flu or anything. She just was for her cancer and all that. And I was supposed to go drop her off at the hospital to get like tests and stuff done on her. And at that time during COVID, you just had to drop her off. I couldn't go in with her. Yeah. And I started crying and having a panic attack. I was like, you're going to go in there and you're perfectly fine, which obviously I know she had cancer. Yeah. But I was like, right now you're perfectly fine. And I'm going to get a call and they're going to be like, oh, her lungs collapsed. She can't breathe. Yeah. She died. I mean, everybody was just dying from it. And then it's like, no matter what, that's what they were saying. Yeah. And I'm like, you're not going in here. I mean, I know she wasn't healthy. Yeah. But my version, and I'm like, I'm not taking you in here and you're alive. And then I get a call. I'm like, hey, she's on her deathbed.
I feel that.
I refused, and she did not go to the doctor that day.
For real?
She did not go to the doctor. I was having a whole panic attack.
You're wild. You're wild, bro.
Hey, she lived.
You're wild.
She lived, and she has not had COVID to this day. I did her a favor. She'd have went to the hospital with all them COVID people, and it was packed. That's exactly what they would have said. She's been exposed. We're keeping her. No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
Well, yeah, we see COVID differently in our perspectives.
I guess so.
What's the next clip?
COVID deniers. It's amazing when people don't politicize a virus.
So I don't currently live abroad, but I grew up abroad, and I have so many. The first one is Common Core math. This one didn't mess me up as much when I was living abroad as much as it did when I moved back. Because believe it or not, when I was growing up, I was taught to understand the inner workings of the math. Like, I understood the math. I understood what was happening in the equations. I knew what they meant. But when I came back, the people that were getting A's on tests, like doing the best in math, had no understanding of what was actually happening in the math. I remember having like right on right answers, and I would be getting marked down because I wasn't using the Common Core math. And then when I tried to use the Common Core math, I didn't know how to do it because it was just steps, and I didn't understand what was going on in the math, and I wouldn't do well. Like, oh my god.
So I hate when they throw in so much extra steps, bro. Like when they're not necessary. Yep. It confuses you. It's like, I can look at this question and I can tell you the answer without putting pen to paper, without working it out. I can look at it and tell you the answer. But when they try to make you do 6 different steps to get the answer, I'm like...
I know, like, today's version, like my nephews and nieces. Yeah. Like, theirs is so different. Yeah. Like, the way they do things is so different from the way we were taught.
I swear to God.
And then so it's like... They make it so difficult for them. And, like, here I am, I'm, like, trying to show them an easier way. Yeah. And they're like, no, we get in trouble if we don't do it our way.
It's crazy.
What do you mean? As long as it's the right answer and you're getting it, what does it matter? It's like, everybody has a different way of comprehending things. Facts. And if this is easier for you, then what does it matter? Facts. You know what I mean? Like, if that works for you, great. If it doesn't, find a different. Why does it have to be this one?
Exactly. I feel like, yeah, back in my day, it was just memorization. Like, hey, you had a multiplication chart in the front of your binder everywhere you went. So 12 by 12 multiplication chart. So anything within that 12 by 12, you just knew off the top of your head. There was no calculator. You didn't need to go to a calculator. You didn't need to work it out. Anything within 12 by 12, I just spit it at you off the top of my head.
Yeah. I feel like for me, like everything, like you said, was just by memory.
Yes.
But like my nines, I never got down until I learned the hand trick.
For real?
For your nines, so like 9 times 2 is 18, 9 times 3 27.
I just memorized that too.
And like to this day, I still try to explain it to the kids because they don't understand like the trick, and I'm like, it's so easy. What do you mean? What do you see?
we just used to have all the competitions in the beginning of class. Who can finish the paper the fastest?
Yes, I love those, especially because I loved math so much, and
yes,
I was obsessed with math. It was my favorite. I looked forward to it every day. And there was this me and this one boy, and we were like the math kings.
I swear to God, you always had that rival.
Every time we knew that there was going to be a test, we were like,
yo,
try to be the first one to hurry up and turn it in. Loved it.
You always had that rival, bro. That one person you do it. It's like 1 or 2 people in this class who can beat me. Know what I'm saying? And it all depended. To me, it was like, it all depends on who she hand the paper to first.
Yep.
They tell you to keep the paper face down, but if you get that paper first, you peek a little bit. All right, I know the first 4 or 5 answers as soon as I flip this paper over. But yeah, it was always fun. I think that competition mixed with helped you learn as well. And then they pulled out the flashcards and it was just a lot different.
Yeah, I loved it.
But back to the video.
I live in Paris, and 2 months ago I got hit by a taxi relatively hard.
Yeah.
I fell down on the street. All these people came, they picked me up, they brought me over to a bench. This woman from a restaurant brought me a glass of water. Another woman gave me a handful of coins, and I was like, I don't need your money, it's okay. And she was like, sweetheart, this is your money. It fell out of your pockets when you got hit by the taxi.
God.
And I was like, Sonic the Hedgehog vibes, great. The man who hits me goes to call the ambulance, and I said, stop. Do not call the ambulance. That will cost me $3,000 to $5,000 because that's what an ambulance costs in America. And he was like, what are you talking about? An ambulance is €7. I was like, oh my God. Remind me to twist my ankle on my way home from the club, and they'll give me an IV so I won't be hungover the next day? Catch me at the hospital. This is lit.
God. Come on now.
Answering this, but kind of the opposite. I'm an American who was born abroad and then moved to America. I moved when I was 8, and I went from a really nice school to an American public school. And on the very first day, I came in with a snowsuit in one hand and a pair of slippers in my other hand. I was like, where do I put this down? They looked at me like, no, you don't need a snowsuit for class. What? We lived in Sweden, so if you were going to go to recess, there was a fair chance that you might need a snowsuit sometime. So I was embarrassed, my mom took it back, and then I heard a ding 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 above the speakers. When I tell you I was not prepared for 20 to 30 8-year-olds to stand up in unison, place their hands over their heart, and start chanting together, I don't think I can explain how weird that was. And then, nobody taught me the Pledge of Allegiance. From then on out, they just assumed I knew it. And that's just American arrogance for you.
So I live in Stockholm, Sweden, but I'm from Nashville, and I used to have the best job ever in Nashville, but I was always paranoid about getting fired for no reason, because that happened to a lot of people at my company. People get fired, and no one would say why. Like, they would just drop in the group chat and be like, this person's not with us anymore. We'd be like, okay. So when I was applying for jobs in Sweden, I would like tell the employer, I'd be like, oh, job security is really important to me because I don't want to just like show up one day and find out that I'm fired. They were like, what are you talking about? Like, that's illegal. I was like, huh? And long story short, it's like completely impossible to fire someone like in Sweden. The company has to prove that you either killed somebody or that like employing you will make them bankrupt. It's like so much work to try and fire somebody. But you can quit whenever you want, depending on your contract. But yeah, all my employers were like shocked to hear that I could get fired tomorrow and they didn't have to tell me why.
I swear to God. That's so much different, bro. Shoot.
Yeah, like Tennessee, they don't have to give you a reason.
On everything.
Whatsoever. Now in Georgia, I mean, they have to, but
yeah, I don't know
Tennessee,
how it is in
they
Texas.
don't.
But even if they do got to give you a reason, I feel like they just make up a reason. Like,
Yeah.
They wait for you to slip up one time, and that's the reason.
Yeah. In Tennessee, you don't. They just fire you. I mean, you could be like the best employee.
Yes.
And be like, you're going, why? I don't gotta tell you.
I swear to God.
And then you can't take them to like court. I mean, you could, but they don't.
Exactly. That's crazy. We not used to that.
I chose to do this even though I'm a Canadian and we have free healthcare, but the reason I'm doing it is because everyone talks about healthcare with this stitch, and guess what? I'm in Greece. I'm in Europe. Okay, so 2015, I'm in Europe. I've got bilateral pneumonia, both lungs full. 2 months in, I'm seeing no signs it's getting better. I can't breathe. I can't even walk 10 steps. I'm out of breath. I'm like, can't do any. Finally, it's life or death. I mean, I gotta go to the hospital, I gotta bite the bullet, whatever they're gonna charge me in Greece, I gotta pay it. So I show up at the hospital, they put me on this ventilator thing, they got my airways opened up, they did x-rays, I still got the x-rays. They did blood work, they did everything. They told me what I had, they gave me 3 different types of meds, and when I go to leave, you know how much they charge me? €5. It's about $6 American. What?
So about a year ago, I ended up going to the emergency room here in the US because I had really bad asthma and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And all they told me to do at the emergency room was to take some allergy pills. Some that I already had at home, and then they just sent me home. And it ended up being $2,000, including insurance. Back up to 2 years ago, I was in China, and I had to go to the emergency room for the exact same thing. And I was like, thank God I got the study abroad health insurance, because I'm going to the emergency room right now, and I'm really afraid how much it's going to be. Okay. Ended up going to the emergency room, and in the end, I paid $4 without the insurance. Didn't even need it. It was $4.
That's insane, bro. That's legit insanity, bro. Like, from $2K to $4 for the same thing in different countries.
I legit don't go unless I'm on my deathbed.
Bro, as soon as I hit 26 and I fell off my dad's health insurance, I ain't had health insurance since.
I mean, I have health insurance, but
I'll hike away every day.
it's still expensive. Like,
exactly.
It don't matter.
Exactly. She said with insurance she paid $2K.
That's what I'm saying. I have insurance and it's still expensive. I don't go. Like, if I feel like I'm almost on my deathbed, I mean, I'm trying every drug inside of the store.
Yes.
If it don't work, then I'm just waiting till my body gets over it.
Looking up home remedies and everything.
Be on Google. Am I dying or what?
Oh, no, she's not. We just don't go. Like, literally. It's sad, like, to think that, but I think they said there's like 73 million uninsured Americans, like, healthcare wise.
I think people do the same thing, like, with the dentist.
Yeah.
Like, it's so expensive that, like, if you have something wrong with, like, your tooth and you're, like, having a bad toothache, like, people just don't go.
I swear to God.
For nothing, like.
Until, like, that tooth is just to the point where you cannot take it anymore.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I mean, people literally, like he said, home remedies.
Yes.
Anything you can to take the pain away for the moment.
And it's like, I think you should go to the dentist, like, at least, like, 3-4 times a year. Like, checkups and everything. But, yeah, you just don't go until, like, there is something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and then, I mean, then you get, they be mad at you.
I swear to God, I'm like, I can't afford to keep going to y'all.
I swear. I mean, it's like, I'm paying for insurance for what?
Exactly.
For what?
Don't got dental insurance either, guys. I don't. Oh, I got a credit card that I get, like a special credit card for hospitals and dentists that I use. But
I mean, I do, but I'm on my parents still. I mean, I'm still on my dad's.
Well, I would say use that while you could. I didn't go under my dad's insurance. I could have got so much work done because I think we all got like, everybody who was under him got like $1,100 a year in like dental insurance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what ours is, but I mean,
yeah,
I'm still under his. I mean, I'm only 23.
Yeah, I never used it, and I wish if I could go back, I would have used it every single year. Every single dollar, that 1,100.
Every single dollar.
But I never used it, and now I'm not going because I'm not paying that.
I'm not paying that.
But that's all we got for this one. If you guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. We out.